Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's edition of KDHL's AM Minnesota program. Nort Johnson, who's the president, chief executive officer, head bottle washer.
That's right.
Over at the Faribault Area Chamber of Commerce and Tourism is in studio. Boy, since we last talked, you've had a bit of a turnover there in people working.
Well, I tell you what, Gordy, in this case, the turnover is pretty. It's pretty awesome for a couple of people. So, what you're referring to, two of our full timers have taken different positions, and couldn't be more proud of both of them. Cassie has taken an awesome position in the city. She's going to knock it out of the park there. I'm pretty confident of that. She did a great job for us for a long time. And then Devin has gone up to Park Rapids. Got an expanded position up there with additional community engagement, a role along with the marketing and communications. So that's when we can have people go through your system at your office and come out the other end getting promotions and advances in their career. That's a home run all the way around.
When I was going to broadcasting school, I was offered a job in Park Rapids.
Oh, okay.
But the requirement was I had to commit to go there 3 years. And I wasn't going to commit.
Wasn't going to do that, huh?
Nope.
Okay. Well, it's nice. It's a nice area there, for sure. For sure.
The radio station at that time was a mobile home in the middle of a cornfield.
Yeah.
Now it's a really nice house.
Okay.
Upstairs of a house.
All right. Gotcha.
This is where the studios are, and then downstairs is the sales offices and stuff.
Oh, wow. Like a historic house, is it then?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, interesting.
Della Hunt.
I should share. So with the transition at the office, we've had folks in last week already. I like to have overlap when we can, and we were able to do that. And we have a couple of interim staffers in taking care of communications and marketing. And in the meantime, myself and the executive committee are reviewing the organizational structure within the chambers. As I think a lot of people know, we've added a lot of different activities over the last 7 years. We've got a very potent function with the school district and the college, working around education with trades pathways, with early grade reading, with pre-K readiness, and we have activities that we participate with them around improving those areas of education. We're especially passionate about the trades pathways. We'd like to see Faribault kids learn as much about Faribault business while they're in Faribault schools. And, it's okay if they leave for a while, but we want them to know that we've got great careers here that they can train for here and come back to or get into right while they're in or just out of high school or junior college. So between that, we do more with the downtown. We've always worked in the downtown, but we're doing more with that than we had in the past. Some of the other activities that we've undertaken with our leadership collaboration and joint boards meetings is a new function that's been very well received. Under our housing initiatives, we've been able to, we spent a lot of time trying some things, trying to get some traction under establishing better pathways to home ownership in Faribault. And boy, that one really came out the other end in good shape. Right now there is a Rice County Community Land Trust. Been talking about that for several years, as you know, about getting one developed because it provides a mechanism for working families who can't get a down payment cobbled together to purchase a home. This land trust has a mechanism that allows working families to purchase a home through a split equity model with the land. A lot of technical detail on that, but at the end of the day, that's been accomplished now. The land trust is in place, so there's just a little bit of work to go to get it over the finish line. And it's its own entity. we're pretty proud of that going on. Great board of directors established for that. The consultants that we spent time with have done a great job for us as well. And of course, this is partnership, because nothing gets done alone, right? So we've got partners on that board of directors from the Faribault HRA, from the Rice County HRA, from Three Rivers. It's a great collaboration to get this tool in place for the county and for the city of Faribault. So with all of these different things that we've taken upon ourselves to having a positive impact for Faribault and for Rice County on, they've all required a little extra administrative work, a little more staff time. And so which we've added based on what our positions have been in the office. So we're taking advantage of this interim time right now, not to take a break by any means. Like I say, we've got staffers, interim staffers working all of the critical functions, but to make sure that we do the very best job with restaffing and having all of the right job descriptions to cover all of these additional duties and not miss anything that is critical function to the core of what a chamber does. So,
which is, I mean, there's no way that you could do it all. So,
oh yeah, there's
you know
not
what I'm
one
saying?
person. And to be absolutely fair, we could have 5 staffers in the office, and we still couldn't do it all with just the staffers. Our superpower is coordinating and facilitating partnerships to accomplish goals, right? And so we help to administer groups and committees and bring the right leadership and programs to the table and help facilitate their function in order to have positive impact on, all of these areas, on the downtown and on excellence in education, daycare. We had brought a group together that accomplished some things around that, and Faribault Cares continues to administer to some things. We still do training that daycare providers need to have in order to keep their licenses up to date. So one of the things that we've been able to do is fund training so that they can have that free of charge. But Faribault Cares still exists, and that will keep going also. So, yeah, busyness around the office, and with mostly good outcomes. You typically, when you're busy like that, Gordy, as you know, you are going to stub your toe once in a while. And the alternative is to not be moving. You'll never stub your toe if you don't get up and try to get things done. So,
yep.
But you always learn a lesson when you do that. And if you hit a dead end, the best thing to do is mark that so you don't go down that path again and find the better path. So,
with those were some of the needs in the community that you guys got involved in, the housing,
yep.
The South Central College. Is it a much better place now than it was even 5 years ago?
Their carpentry program is full this year, Gordy. It's just super cool. Just super cool. Dave Brockle runs that program, and he does just a fantastic job. And
I got to get the new president on here.
Yes, Ritu's doing a good job. I'm pretty pleased with that. Dr. Riju, we've been on some committee meetings together. She did a State of the College address earlier this year. I was invited to speak at that. I was proud, honored to be able to do that over in Mankato. They're working very hard right now to get our nursing labs updated at South Central College. The money's being raised for that right now. If there's anybody that's got a passion for that, I can find the vehicle for them through a foundation, the South Central College Foundation, to make donations to that. I don't have the exact amount in front of me, but we still have a few $100,000 to go. I know that.
High tech these days, I'm sure it's not inexpensive to get those updated.
No, it's not cheap. They've got the 3 nursing lab rooms that are up for renovations, and it's important to do that because as technology advances, so does the technology related to healthcare, and certainly that we would want our students going into healthcare pathways to have the most updated equipment available. So that's in process, and I'm told that they've got the capacity to do 2 student cohorts of over 40 students each in a year through those labs. And the market demand for those positions, everything from certified nursing assistants and phlebotomists to LPNs and RNs are needed.
Well, it's only going to grow. Us baby boomers are going to get up there and need that
That's
care.
right. The bubble of population needing care is on the way. It's there right now.
Yeah.
When I used to do economic development full time, and that was in the early 2000s. And one of the things that we recognized as we were studying workforce needs, the trajectory of the number of people that were going to be in the system for healthcare. That's you and I, Gordy. We're there. We're on the front end. We're on what we call the front end or the back end of that bubble. But either way, the trajectory of the people in need, if you overlay that with the trajectory of the number of positions that were being filled, we're nowhere near on the path to be able to meet that need.
Oh, yeah.
And we recognized that, like you say, over 20 years ago. And some communities really stepped up and got the healthcare pathways going on. Super pleased that Faribault added those about, oh my gosh, is that 6 years ago now? I think it's 6 years ago that we got under what is labeled the H2C pathways, high school to college and career pathways. There are 36 college credits available to high school students in those pathways. You can get your CNA in high school. You can get a bunch of college credits that would go toward those other much higher paying skilled healthcare positions. So Faribault stepped up. Faribault got in the game, and we've got students in those pathways right now. The last number that I heard in one of our regular meetings that we have to stay caught up and hold each other accountable for staying into these pathway discussions. We had 91 students in the high school taking classes in those pathways. So,
cool.
Yeah, super cool.
We got to get more though.
We definitely. Yep. We need to make sure we've got the capacity, like I say, getting those nursing labs fixed up.
You're a student interested in that field. It's kind of a no-brainer, not, to be involved.
I agree. I agree.
And even if you're not sure that that's the career path you want to go, it doesn't cost you anything to check it out.
Yes, that's correct. And the college credits they're good. So if you take some of those classes in Faribault High School as you're a junior and you decide, maybe you get 4 or 6 credits and you decide, well, I'm not going to go into that. Those college credits are still good. They can count as your electives.
Yes.
Mankato State, Bemidji, any MNSCU college, these credits are good at. So, and that was a partnership. Like I said, I talk about partnerships because nothing gets done alone. That was the Faribault Public Schools, South Central College, and then we had every healthcare organization in Faribault was at the table. Alina, Mayo, Health Finders, Southern Heights Dental, I believe, made it. Ritchie Eye Clinic. We had all these folks at the table. Monarch Enterprises, they run our long-term care and our rehab care in town. All of them at the table coordinating to make these pathway classes a reality.
Very cool. We're going to visit more with Nort when AM Minnesota continues right now. I have to do our opening mark. Well, I don't do it, but I'm going to throw it to the people who do the opening market report. Service of NorthlandBuildings.com. Werner Farm Seed Dundas. Craig Keller at the Keller Insurance Agency in Nearstrand. We'll be back before you know it.
AM Minnesota on the Mighty 920 KDHL.
Good morning. It's time for a market update on this Wednesday morning on the Linder Farm Network. Joining us, Jim Empter, Van Auning Company, Alexandria. Well, Jim, soybeans higher, corn on the higher side, wheat higher. What are you following this morning?
Yeah, Linda, we made it through a crop report here in June that on the 30th that, can oftentimes really set market tone and direction. And this one kind of gave us more of a dud type report. If anything, was a little supportive in areas. And I think that was a breath of fresh air for the market. So again, all these funds that have been selling, getting short wheat, actually getting short corn, I think may look at this 4th of July with a heat ridge around and some limited precipitation through the central U.S. and say, hey, maybe we don't want to be as short as we are right now. And I think that's some of the coverage that is occurring here, allowing this buying interest to peak up. But make no mistakes, we got 600 million more bushels of inventory in corn than we had a year ago. So the problem we're going to run into is as we get this rally, is the farmer going to step in and sell with the inventories that remain, or will they be a little patient? Well, what we're seeing this morning as we got up 6 to 7 cents, that some sell pressure showed up. So we'll continue to monitor this. We'll continue to monitor the hot, drier weather that is forecasted for some areas. But, Linda, across Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota, even parts of northern Iowa, through the eastern belt, we're still getting timely rains. Even with this heat. So again, a lot of areas in really good condition. So retracement counts for corn, 458 is really an area out the December we're zoning into. That should, when you add carry, give you good opportunity out into March, May, and July. And in the bean market, we're still looking at that 1170 area as key opportunistic marketing area here for the beans until we get some base new information. You can see we're pulling off the 1161 high we had in November beans last night.
And livestock futures today a little higher on cattle for the most part. Feeder cattle and lean hogs all a little higher.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of lift. We had feeder cattle, live cattle try to get going early and then kind of settle back here. Just realized we were against a key support area for both the November feeder cattle and December live cattle markets. This is an area where if we break here, Linda, in the next $1.50 for both markets, this thing rolls over and could see a much bigger sell pressure here. If we can hold it and bounce, obviously the bull gets enthusiastic about holding that key support. We're just at a big level, so keep an eye on cattle here. The next move is very important here for those markets, so to chop here a little bit is okay. Hogs, on the other hand, need to get above 100 August to really make it matter, and we're not above it, but we're getting close to it, so we'll watch that area as we work ahead.
Jim Emter, Van Auning Company, Alexandria. In Chicago, July corn, 417 up 4 1/4. September 419 1/4 up 2 1/2. December 438 3/4 up 2 3/4. July soybeans 1124 3/4 up 8. August 1132 1/4 up 8 1/4. November 1151 3/4 up 8 cents. August live cattle down 12, October up 45, August feeder cattle up 20, lean hogs July down 20, August up 52. This is a Linder Farm Network.
At some point, every well owner faces the same question: fix it or replace it. Irvin Drilling at Pump will give you a straight answer. No guesswork, no overselling. If it can be fixed, they'll fix it. If it needs replacing, they'll do it right. They've been trusted since 1956. Call 320-523-1621 or visit irvindrilling.com.
Every single time someone drives by, there it is again. Dust everywhere. On your truck, your windows, your porch. Now you're holding your breath just to grab the mail. Well, no more. With Dust Lock, one application controls dust on unpaved roads, driveways, parking lots, even construction sites and ag facilities. Own a dealership? Let's stop washing your inventory every week. Dust Lock keeps your lot clean and customer ready. And yes, it's environmentally safe too. Take back your road and visit dustlock.com. Dust Lock. We handle the dust.
That's our update on the Linder Farm Network.
Well, we certainly appreciate that update, and we appreciate Nort Johnson for taking time out of his busy schedule to visit with us, typically every first Wednesday of the month. We appreciate it very much, Nort, to get updated on what's going on.
Oh, it's our pleasure, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It was an early start this morning. We had a business before hours up at Ruth's house today.
Oh, yeah? What's going on up there?
Talked about that important programming and amenity, I guess, like our function for our community that they cater to there. It's just, unfortunately, it's a great need that needs to be filled, and they really step up and take care of business. We appreciate them very much. Very much.
Yep, they're good people.
Little of a slow turnout. I think the pouring rain.
I'm sure it had something to do with it.
It really was coming down, but a meaningful group there. We had a council candidate there and some board members from the chamber and from Ruth's house and some business people. It was good coffee and good conversation. So
Well, that's good. So what's the latest on our hospital? I'm very concerned about we don't need to lose that healthcare facility.
Yeah, it's as you know, the birthing center had closed down, and you know the few factors around that. One of the aggravating factors that kind of caused that domino effect was when, excuse me, when Mayo stepped away from operating the birthing center in Owatonna. Okay, and with limited number of providers available, Olina made the decision based on what they were able to, who they were able to service at the Owatonna Hospital, with Owatonna and Waseca. And to be fair, their births were outpacing Faribault births. Okay, and another factor for the Faribault Birthing Center, they were losing money daily to keep it full open here. I can't speak to the precise factors, but in generality, there's some things that that led to that. Demographically, reimbursement rates, and the excessive expense. I mean, you've got to keep the critical mass coming in, paying at market rate in order to keep a facility like that open. And so that was one of the aggravating factors. Now, as you know, there's reorganizations going on in healthcare all over the country. They keep, it's constant that's happening, and there are some strategies in place to help reinvigorate, the Faribault facilities. They're still there. They're still open.
Now, I don't remember, Nort, how long you've been here, but District 1 used to be an independent hospital.
Correct.
Had its own board.
Yep.
And then a few years back, Olina purchased it for $1, I think it was, and then agreed to invest millions of dollars in the facility, which they did.
Over $36 million Olina invested in that facility,
Right.
Much needed. So we've got a great facility up there, absolutely, and certainly appreciate that they are here. And as we know, economically and in healthcare, the challenges that have arisen, it's just been a tough market all the way around, and unfortunately, Faribault hasn't fared the best at this point. I do have every confidence that Olina they've got a commitment to Faribault. I know that. And Matt Willey is the new president, CEO. He spent time with us at the chamber. Actually, we gave, one of our staffers gave him a tour of Faribault when he was a candidate. One of the things that we provide for our businesses, our member businesses, is we call them red carpet tours for candidates. We want executives to come to this area. We want well-seasoned professionals to choose Faribault when they're making a career change versus another community. We want good people here. So one of the things that we do offer is, actually, we've done it for the high school, we've done it for the public schools, the college and the public schools, and Olina. So we take their candidates on a tour, and we show them what's available in the community. We answer any community questions they may have. We get them contacts for housing or spousal employment's a big deal. For some couples to move, they want to make sure that their spouse can get a professional position, so they can still maintain their two-income family when they make a move for one-income earner. And so we help make those connections and do the tours. And Matt had one of those tours, so did the other two candidates that were finalists. So,
is he a Kenyan Willie?
I'm sorry?
Did he come from Kenyan? Is he a Kenyan Willie? We got Willies over in Kenya.
Nope. He's Minnesota originally, but spent some time in out of
Kenyan's
state and is moving back to Minnesota. So we're glad he's here. Good guy. His predecessor Whitney did a great job for us as well, and not in easy circumstances. I just want to make sure that's a point everybody absorbs. So he certainly didn't certainly didn't invest, well over $36 million into the facility to walk away from it, and they're not. So that's not healthcare is just not an easy onion to peel. I guess that's that a good way to put it. So many layers and so many.
But you scratch your head as to how they can't make money when you see your hospital bill. Let me tell you.
I'm sorry, Gordy?
When you get your hospital bill, it's hard to believe they're not making money.
Oh, if you think about the system as a whole and where money's going, I think if we trimmed waste, fraud, and abuse out of the Medicaid system, out of the insurance systems and everything else. So just imagine the dollars that they're coming from us, okay, to fund all of that. If you peel back the dollars that are fraudulently going out, that takes away the dollars that need to go in, which lowers rates for everybody. So I think charging down the path of ensuring that we're as efficient and
insurance companies are in this equation too,
Yes, yep. None of that stuff's easy. I wish that was something I could affect further. I've got a Venn diagram, the overlapping circles. I've got one in my office that hangs in front of one of my whiteboards, Gordy. It's just two circles, and they barely overlap. So just imagine two circles of the same size, and then where they overlap, you've got this tiny little area. Well, one circle is labeled things that are important. Okay, that's all of these things. It's all kinds of things, and the other circle is labeled things that I can influence. And where they overlap, it's just a tiny bit. So that time and energy is a precious commodity. And so we spend our time and energy finding the most important things that we can influence. We speak as best we can to some of the other items. And when we determine I can tell you this, there's not a significant way that the chamber can affect healthcare costs right now, other than to be analytical, understand what some of the larger issues are, and lobby for corrections on those at the state and federal levels. Because we're not doing something out of our office, but we can make sure that our voice is heard as a community, a business community, that we want better oversight and better efficiencies in place. So that's what we do around that, and that's about as much effect as we can have is legislatively weighing in on. Oh my gosh, yes, it's pouring rain again out there, isn't it, Gordy?
Somebody's got to explain.
I saw Gordy jump. He was looking out the window.
Somebody's got to explain to me how a bald guy can get a hair in his eye.
Oh,
I've got a hair in my eye.
When that happens to me, it's an eyebrow gone awry that is poked out.
Well, I don't have much for eyebrows either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's raining pretty good.
Boy, my cucumbers are going to go crazy with this rain coming down.
You're loving it.
Not to avoid the healthcare discussion. I know what the costs are, and I know how much it costs us to provide. I think we pay 70% of healthcare insurance for employees, and it's pretty tough. That's pretty tough.
Well, the insurance.
But on the
company,
local fund front, Rice County Fair.
Oh, that's right. That's a couple weeks away.
It is. We're excited for that. Another one of those great local.
You have a booth out there?
Institutions. We don't have a booth out there.
Okay.
We go out and spend time. We spend a little time helping with our egg committee and the Best of the Best awards.
That's right.
We're excited for that going on, and we've got John Dvorak, the old fair director, is still on our egg committee. He helps with that. Kelly Watts from the community co-op has been an amazing member of that group as well for a long time.
So who's your liaison on that committee now from the chamber?
From the chamber?
Yeah.
That'll be me.
Oh,
Cassie
okay.
is our liaison for that, and I'll run those committee meetings now. I'll probably do it for a year.
Okay.
Help with that. So all of our committees are continuing. We just had the last week a big downtown summit that we partnered with the EDA on. So all of those functions are continuing.
Fantastic. Thanks, Nort. Tomorrow we head to the Cannon Valley Fair in Cannon Falls and broadcast our AM Minnesota program from the Cannon Valley Fairgrounds I'm pumped to be heading to Cannon Falls.